101. And I'd like to call to order the Kentucky Community and Technical College System Board of Regents Policy and Planning Committee meeting to order. And I would like to ask Ms. Young, parliamentarian, to please call the roll.
Chair Martin.
Here.
Vice Chair Hamilton. Secretary Witten.
Here.
And Regent Finan, her term has ended. Regent Green.
Here.
And Regent Alexandra Martin, her term has also ended. Regent Rabinowitz.
Here.
We have quorum.
Sounds good. Okay.
Keith Hamilton's here.
I'm sorry?
Keith Hamilton's here.
Okay. Keith slid in here. Okay, we need to approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting on May 16th. Are there any corrections to the minutes? None. Could I have a motion to approve?
So
Motion to approve.
Okay, so I think who made the motion, Keith or?
I think so, but whoever can take it, I'm comfortable with it.
Okay, Keith, and then who was second?
Regent Rabinowitz.
I second.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, we'll call the roll.
We can do this by consensus. Any objections?
Okay.
Motion passes. Thank you.
So fast. The draft for September agenda is loaded onto Onboard. I'd like to ask Board Liaison Shannon Rickett to walk us through the agenda, and if there's any questions or revisions, let's hear those as we move through each item.
Okay, we'll get started. The meeting will start at 12 p.m. at Henderson Community College. We'll start with a call to order, roll call, the open comment period, approval of minutes, and then Dr. Warren from Henderson will give us a presentation about Henderson Community College. We'll move then into the chair's report, the president's report, and then move into increase organization success. The first item on the agenda you have a copy of says action. However, this will just be an update at this point on SGR 179 work team it will probably be progress at this point.
And Shannon, if you don't mind, just for the update on the Senate Joint Resolution 179, just a reminder, this is your chance for us to give you a progress report on where these 5 work teams are at. So this really is an opportunity for you all to give us feedback. Let us have your guidance. Also, let us know if we're going down perhaps a path that we shouldn't, and just kind of guide us with a somewhat, we're calling it a rough draft of a final draft that you all will be voting on in December. So I would imagine there'll be a lot of time spent at this update, this part of the meeting.
Okay. Then we will move into the state exam, an update on the state examination. We'll have an update on the forensic audit progress. We'll have an update on the Board of Regents Audit Committee. An action item, ratification of personnel actions. And then we are going to have a brief update by the Fire Commission.
Yep.
After that, we will move into executive session and then adjournment. And that will be the first day. There will also be, I believe Dr. Warren is working on an optional tour that morning at 10:30, but we'll get more information as he's pulling that together. For the second day, we will be starting at 9 a.m. Central Time at Henderson Community College. Once again, start with a call to order and roll call. We'll continue with increased organization success with a financial report and then a facilities support service update. Then we will move into increased learner success. And on all of these, we will be adding Dr. Phil Neal, Executive Vice President and Provost, I just need to update the agenda. And we will start with the ratification of KCTCS's college's candidates for credentials, an update on certificate and program approvals, an update on credential suspensions, an update on the KCTCS online learning assessment plan, an enrollment report update, and then the annual update on the 2022 through 26 strategic plan. And then an update on tracking graduate employment, an update on artificial intelligence, and then an update on the online learning website. After that, we'll move into increased employment success. We'll have updates on the employer asset data and employer engagement teams, education first employers. We'll have an update on trained utilization. We'll have an update on Going Pro, update on the NSF grant, and then we'll have a philanthropy update by Dr. Stitt. Then we'll move. The next meeting will be December 5th and 6th, and then we will adjourn.
Do we have any questions from the Board of Regents? Sounds like a good, robust agenda.
You don't mind, Mr. Chairman. So the Fire Commission, I'm actually meeting with them tomorrow in Paris. They're excited about their presentation. So it's going to be pretty high level, maybe a little history about why the Fire Commission joined KCTCS with their structure. And also keep in mind, they're going through a state audit as well. So we could imagine there'll be an update about the future of our relationship with them. If there's any other items to add, please let us know. And the final thing is that, as Shannon already mentioned, Phil Neal is transitioning in as EVP and Provost. And so it's going to be a dynamic duo with him and Dr. Wagner with these presentations by the September meeting.
Yeah, that was a good addition to the cabinet.
Yeah, been well received.
Barry, I have a question for Dr. Qualls.
Yes, sir.
In reference to the Senate Joint Resolution, I know that board members are on those committees. Are those committees going to meet with the board members either virtually or so prior to your presentation to the September meeting?
So the plan here is the work teams will be providing regular updates to board members depending on which update team that you've been assigned to. And we're trying to balance that role between the fiduciary responsibility of a regent versus the administrative tasks that are being done by these work teams. And so we're happy to entertain any questions, any feedback. If you want more updates, we can do that. But we've had a lot of internal conversation about making sure we straddle that line between the function of a regent and getting down into the administrative functions of these work groups.
Thank you, sir.
But what we want to do is make sure that everyone's comfortable with the direction we're going. If there are things that in these updates that you feel like, oh my gosh, you haven't looked into this, please let us know. That way, I can assure you we're being very comprehensive with the scope of these work teams. Because what we need to do is get us to a point by December, probably November, where everyone's comfortable on voting on our response to the joint resolution. And also keep in mind that I'll be making a presentation with our team to LRC in November, as well as to the CPE board as well. So we're going to kind of culminate in November leading up to the December meeting here at the system office for you all to hopefully vote on our SJR result, our work product.
Well, the hope was for the committee members, the Board of Regents on the committees, to be up to date with what's going on with the committees. Are the Board of Regents receiving those updates?
The first update, The first update on governance and structure has been sent out.
I've
And
got
as,
it.
yeah. And then as the other four, which again just got off the ground, they're
Okay.
starting to meet and they'll be giving updates every 2 weeks. Now, if you would like updates more frequently from those work groups, we're happy to do that. But also keep in mind that these work groups are meeting once, sometimes twice a week. So there may not be a lot to update on a weekly basis. And that's why we kind of chose the every 2 weeks route, but we're happy to provide more if you'd like that.
I think every 2 weeks is good.
Okay.
And then we'll have to have some kind of discussion in September about our progress and our direction, because if we're expected to vote on this in December, we're going to have some really good info.
That's right. So what we envision is on day one, right after the president's report, we're going to jump right in and we will have a recommendation for you all to start to consider involving governance and structure, because that work team got off the ground early. They're going to provide their recommendations through our RIA team, which is an administrative team within PLT, at the end of this month, end of July, for us to then create a recommendation for you all to start considering. Again, no votes on this in September. We don't anticipate that, but obviously it's up to the purview of the regents. But this is an opportunity for us to get direct feedback from you if there are things that we're getting a lot of ideas. And so if there are some that you agree with strongly, or some that you disagree with strongly, this is the opportunity to give us that feedback along the way.
Any questions? Right now is the time to ask them. Is there any new business for the committee? Okay, well, I guess our business is complete. This concludes the meeting. Just a reminder that the Board of Regents meeting will be on September 19th through the 20th. Camera seems to be going in and out, Brianna. I see that. September 19th and 20th at Henderson Community College in Henderson. With that, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Okay. Got a motion? Second?
Second.
Everybody want.
Okay. Kim Green seconded.
Any objections?
Okay. Thank you
Okay.
all. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Afternoon, evening.
Thank you.
Thank
Good seeing you.
Thank you.
All right.